Hi, Bill Russell from CrossFit Cleveland in Rocky River, Ohio here with your workout details for Wednesday. You're going to start out with an 8 or 9 minute warm up. You're going to start out with 50 single unders, or if you don't have a jump rope or the room to do them, do low pogos. Then 10 shoulder rollouts, 10 overhead squats, and 10 good mornings, all with either a PVC or a band. Then 10 torso twists right and left, and 1 walkout into 5 Supermans. After 8 or 9 minutes, get ready to set a clock. You're going to time your rounds, 5 rounds. You got a lot of time under tension in squats today. You're going to do pausing goblet squats with a full 3-second pause at the bottom of each squat. Let your elbows come between your knees and press out a little bit, keeping your back nice and straight and tight with your chest up as vertical as possible for 1 minute and 15 seconds. We're not recording reps today. I want you to do good strict reps and settle in for that full 3 seconds at the bottom. If you need to take a short rest or two between reps, that's okay. After 1 minute 15, you'll get down on the floor. You'll do 1 minute of plank holds with shoulder taps right and left. After that minute, you'll roll over on the floor and do flutter kicks. Rounds 1, 3, and 5. Rounds 2 and 4, do jackknife sit-ups. And then take a 30-second rest. And you'll repeat that 4 more times. So we're not recording the rep counts for the shoulder taps, flutter kicks, or jackknife sit-ups. Those are there to give you a little bit of recovery time before your next set of pausing goblet squats. You can go as heavy as you'd like. You can start heavy and stay the same weight, or you can start light to get a feel for what that pausing set feels like and increase weight each round. If you have a barbell, you can do back squat with a pause, starting at about 25% of your 1 rep max. It's harder than it sounds for that full 1 minute and 15. And when you're done, you got a little leg burner finisher. You're going to do max double unders in 4 minutes and record that score. If you don't have a rope or the ability to do jumping rope where you are, do our high pogos, which is a high jump off the floor each time, like you were attempting to do a double. So after your warm up, set your clock for timing your rounds, and 3, 2, 1, go. Have a great Wednesday. As always, we have video demonstrations to follow, the warm-up movements, followed by the workout movements, and then the finisher.
If you're doing this outside or you have a jump rope, you can actually do your single unders, but if not, if you're inside like I am, you're just going to pretend you're jumping rope. I use my hands just because I do. So each jump counts. So those are your ropeless singles. I'm going to demonstrate a shoulder rollout. I'm using a jumbong, Bill's jumbong, but you could use a PVC or a broomstick, just nice and wide, and just opening up the shoulders back and forth, seeing if you can get all the way back over, just nice and wide, getting that blood flowing into your shoulders.
Slowly, as you got good shoulders, slowly narrow your grip. Make sure you keep your elbows locked.
For those of you with bad shoulders, it might be a struggle, but if you have good shoulders, you want to just kind of start bringing that in a little bit closer at a time, making sure that your elbows are locked out and not falling in. I'm going to demonstrate for you an overhead squat. Your arms should be wide where you would have done a shoulder rollout if you're familiar with those, just back and forth. It's very similar. You're going to take your hands overhead. You're going to think about bringing your arms straight up and locking them out. The bar should be right above your head at the pony. You want to make sure you're packing down your your shoulders so that they're not up here, but they're nice and packed, right like this. If you are not very mobile, it's going to try to pull you forward. Don't let it. Think about pulling this apart like a big string that you're pulling apart. I'm going to squat, and it's going to look just like my regular squat. I'm going to go straight down and back up. All the way down and back up. Keeping this nice and tight. Don't let your elbows bend on this. Nice and tight, and showing me your armpits. Body weight good mornings. You're going to take these, your feet are just hip distance apart, and you're going to take your hips and you're going to move them back, keeping your head neutral and just slowly feeling that through your hamstrings. If you have at home a broomstick, or you want, I hope you have a broomstick. If you want a broomstick, you can put the broom on the back of your, and just do it that way. But it's not really necessary.
Torso twists. I like to hold a band out in front, but it's not necessary. Just hold your arms out, and you're going to turn around and point to the wall behind you, to the left and to the right is 1 rep. Keep your feet hip width apart, and as you turn, try to face as far around as you can. Back to the left and back to the right.
1 walkout plus 5 Supermans. So I want you to make sure you reach all the way up. You're going to walk yourself down, walk it out, give me 5 Supermans, and after your 5th Superman, you're going to walk it all the way back up, touching your toes and your ankle, and all the way back up. Just one of those. Hi, I'm going to demonstrate a goblet squat today, starting with the kettlebell. Remember, when you're picking up any kind of weight, you want to make sure that you're lifting it up properly and not just bending over to grab whatever it is you're grabbing. So I'm going to come down into my kettlebell, chest is up, and I'm going to clean it right up. From here, keeping the weight close to your chest, just going to squat all the way down, keeping your chest up, weight is in your heels, and then standing straight back up. So these are goblet squats. If you don't have a kettlebell, and you do have a dumbbell, you can use a dumbbell, holding it right here as if it was a kettlebell, keeping your elbows nice and in. This is what the goblet squat would look like. Everything else is going to be the same. My chest stays up, weight is in my heels, and I'm going to squat below parallel and come straight back up. You can use your laundry detergent that we've been using all week. I should be getting paid from all for this. Holding it nice and close and all the way down. Again, keeping my elbows in. If you wanted to hold it this way, you can do that as well. And now that's your goblet squat. If you don't have a detergent and you have a gym bag, you can load it with clothes or books or something heavy. If you're using books, I suggest padding it with a pillow or a blanket so that they're not wobbling on you. Again, picking it up properly. I'm going to hold it. You can either hold it like this or like this. Personally, I actually like it like this better. And we're squatting with it. All the movements are exactly the same, no matter what you're holding.
Flutter kicks. You're going to do 4 count flutter kicks. I like to have my hands a little bit under my butt. Helps me to keep my lower back on the ground, pointing my toes. 1, 2. So it's like 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 3. If you count every time you kick one leg, 1, 2, 3, you just have to double your number to get there.
Your jackknife sit-up. In that hollow position, you're going to bring it up and all the way back out. All right? If you want, you can, with your shoulders off the ground, just keeping that off the ground, just going to come in and give it a little tuck. All the way up, tuck. Either version of those is totally fine.
Double unders, if you have a rope, or you can do ropeless doubles. So if you know how to do doubles, you know that you jump a little bit higher, or sometimes quite a bit higher. So you're going to do a high pogo. So instead of low, you're going to, and think you're doing doubles, and pretend that you're spinning the rope twice. It'll get your heart rate up just the same. You'll actually do more of those consecutively than you would with a rope if you're not that good with doubles.
so your heart rate will go up. And that's what we want.